Listen to the Vibes.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Listen to the Vibes. And I'm very honored to have Jay Aston here from Jay Aston's Gene Loves Jezebel. Now, he's got a new album. It came out last December.
Yeah, not long ago. Yeah.
We're going to talk about the album and get to know Jay. So let's kick this off right, man. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Well, what can I tell you? Been around a long time. Gene Loves Jezebel was formed in 1980, so a long time. But yeah, we just got a new album out, Love, Death, Sorrow, which has got phenomenal reviews. It's been really pleasing. We did some covers, which we never usually do, and it all syncs together really well. It's we really like the album a lot. You know, it's surprising to stand back from it and a few months later, and it's actually a great sounding record, I think, if I say so myself. But yeah, the reviews have been really good, and we played some gigs in the UK just before Christmas, and they were fantastic. And we managed to showcase a few songs. So hopefully on this upcoming Alarm tour, we'll be able to do a few more.
So this album, did you have a concept in mind, or you just wrote everything for fun?
I think just it wasn't planned, you know. It was kind of I was going to do some solo. I've been doing some solo work. I do stuff on my own, you know, which is fun to do because James Stevenson, Peter Rizzo, Smiley, they're great musicians. But if I just grab my guitar and go on stage on my own, it's much scarier and it's a different vibe altogether. But I find that challenging and rewarding. So I was planning to do some solo work. And a friend of mine in Aston and a friend in LA said to me, you should check out Cleopatra Records, because Brian and Matt, they're fans. And I know Matt and Brian a little. And they said, yeah, let's do some demos. And if you want to do a solo record, if we're both happy, we'll do that. Won't cost you anything. But then I happened to mention we had some back catalogue, and they said, oh, why don't you do a Gene Loves Jezebel record, since we can put all that stuff on Cleopatra and have a new album. So just called the lads, you know, James and Pete Walsh, the producer, phenomenal producer, engineer. And yeah, off we went to my home country of South Wales, and in darkest winter, and it was awesome. It worked out really well. Not a concept as such. I think if there is a theme to the album, it's probably just about the days we live in, you know, survival. We don't know what's around the corner anymore, do we? Scary days, really. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It brought back that I don't know, the fun, the feeling of the 80s.
Yeah, this was celebratory. I think it's an uplifting album. It's got some darker tracks, but not depressingly dark. You know, You Can't Hurt Me Anymore is even though the title might sound dark, is actually a song of release or relief. You know, yeah, I think it is. And we doing covers. I mean, that's a joyful thing to do anyway. Even though I wouldn't say the melancholic. There's a flame that's burning in those covers. I think, you know, the Cure one especially, and the Only Ones covers. We've done them in a different way, and you know, I think it's something to do with being in Wales in winter, mythical place, and it's a very good album, I think. Yeah.
I think the darkest song on there was Serpent Queen.
Yeah, but that's a celebration of Greater Garbo and all that kind of feel, you know. So it's a femme fatale, you know. There's a romance to that, isn't there? You know, sailors. I'm from a place near the ocean. I was brought up near the ocean, so you know the sea, sailors and pirates and all that stuff is big where I'm from.
Well, there's a song on there called "The Man That Time Forgot." I really enjoyed that one. What's the story behind that one?
I don't know. I think it was I don't know. Pete Rizzo played that riff to me, that down, and that just music makes me. I like collaborating. I like writing songs of my own, but it's great to collaborate with other people because that's it's just exciting. It can inspire, you know. And for some reason, that lyric came to me, and it could be, you know, biographical. I don't know, autobiographical. Probably something of that in there, you know. But yeah, I love that song. Yeah, we enjoy doing that. Yeah.
If you're like me, you feel like you're stuck in the 80s.
I don't think that. I don't feel any different. I feel it's all one big connection. I don't feel any different than I did when I was 20. So at least that's my mind anyway. So yeah, time goes by so quickly.
Yeah.
And you're like, bloody yeah, the last album we did was 7 years ago, and that felt like yesterday, And it's a bit scary how quickly time goes. I mean, we all used to hear it from our parents, didn't we, and all that stuff. Oh, time flies by. But man, it really does. So yeah, I try to be in the moment, but it does. It's freaky because I'm constantly working on songs, and suddenly I'm thinking, oh my God, I wrote this song 10 years ago and I still haven't recorded it, kind of thing. So yeah, it is freaky.
Do you have a specific formula to how you write, or do you have
No,
to
not
be in the
all really.
mood?
It's just sounds. I mean, I collaborate with someone called Jean-Marc Lieberman. We do some stuff together, and he just sends me uh, noises, some fun little files, just his keyboards, his wild keyboards, and that inspires me to put melodies on top and chords on top. But no, I mean, a lot of the songs come in a mantra kind of way. I just go round and round and round. Desire, for instance, that song of mine came about that way. But no, there's no one way of doing it. Inspiration, you can wake up at 3 a.m, as you were talking about before we went on there, and you literally can. I'll just grab my guitar, is always close at hand, or a guitar is, and I will start. I'll use my iPhone, whatever, and record it really quickly, and that'll be a song. So yeah, there's no formula.
You usually talk about Gene Loves Jezebel.
Mm-hmm.
You never really get to talk about yourself when you do interviews, do you?
Well, I guess it's hard to talk about yourself. I mean, it's funny. I'm quite an outgoing person, but I'm quite shy, really. So I don't really like talking about myself too much. I let other people be the judges of that. I take the slings and arrows in the same way. As well as the plaudits. About myself, I can tell you that I like to go hiking a lot. I'm a vegan, and I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that stuff. Um, and I'm just aware of how precious the moment is, really, to be in this moment. We're in this moment right now, and that's all there is, really. I'm very, very aware of that. As George Harrison would say, "Be here now," wherever he got that from. It's very much that kind of, this is where we are right now. This split second is it. That's how I live my life, really. But as far as talking about myself or people, I'd much rather talk about other people in the band, what they do. I know we all have a significant role. That's what makes all bands great. Each member is really important to the sum of the parts. So yeah.
The 80s seemed to be the pinnacle of the party era. How did you avoid getting caught up in all that life of drugs and alcohol?
It just didn't suit me, I guess. I have obviously I've done cocaine and stuff like that in my life. And I've had some fun here and there, but generally speaking, singers, it's not good. Drugs ain't good for singers anyway. But I used to, I'd wake up in the morning sometimes, and other people around me, they'd been up all night, and they'd still have the blinds closed, and it'd be a beautiful day outside. And because I like walking so much, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to discover the city or wherever we were, And I've that kind of energy just fills me. And the same when I'm on stage, I want to be dancing, and I wouldn't want to be on stage feeling hungover. I never used to drink before I went on stage. I drink after it for sure, but yeah. So that was easy for me because I'm pretty skinny, frail guy. Anyway, I couldn't handle too much. Anyway, I don't think, and it's hurt so many people. Drugs hurt so many people, and alcohol to that degree. And anything that alters the brain, mind warping, you should be very, very careful of. It's my opinion, and any mistake I've ever made, it's usually got alcohol involved. People don't suddenly go out doing heroin or cocaine. It usually starts with alcohol, and gateway drug to everything, really. Gateway to violence, gateway to, bad sex, gateway to a million things,
Mm-hmm.
You think, what was I thinking? But, if you want to get something out of somebody, buy them a glass of wine. You get anything you want.
Right.
So I'm told. So, and that does make sense to me. Yeah, I'm sure. People do make all kinds of promises when they've had a few drinks.
What's been the greatest hurdle in your life?
I don't know, really. I think as human beings, we make up our own bridges, don't we, and walls. We come up against. We kind of create our own, really. But for me, being a twin was never very easy. Being an identical twin, you get birthday cards to both of you at the same time. People call you twin, so they couldn't tell the difference. So identity is a big issue for all of us. We bounce out of that womb. It's so who the hell am I, or where are we? Where are we going? What's all this about? It's the questions everybody asks. And some people try to get closer spiritually. They literally drink spirits to get that cozy feeling when they just can't cope anymore. But for me, it was just okay. I have to do things on my own, and that's been difficult, I guess. Because it doesn't matter to me. Fame or fortune's never meant anything to me at all. What's important to me is a song. A friend of mine said to me once that when I was 16, 17, he said, "Oh, J.A." as they used to call me J.A., got shortened to J. You don't even need to be making records. You're just happy to make, at the time, cassette tapes, and I literally have a cassette on. And these days I'll just have an idea and sing something and throw it up on Instagram or throw it up on Facebook or wherever and just let people enjoy it, flaws and all. Because that's the most beautiful time. The most beautiful time for a musician is when you're creating something. I think, where did that come from? That moment of inspiration. After that, when you have to go to a studio, you're being an actor. You're trying to recreate that feeling again that you had. So, when we were with John Leckie, he was a great producer. He did Stone Roses and tons of bands. But he would leave the flaws in everything as it was, which is a beautiful thing, really. That, because I think it makes the records more special. There'd be some flat singing here and there by some other members of the band, not me. It would still work because it was just the moment, And I like that about the way he produced things. Whereas Peter Walsh is much more thorough and everything's perfect and records things beautifully. And I like that too. They both work for different reasons,
I did see that your brother Michael has a band called Michael Aston's Gene Loves Jezebel. Why did y'all split?
Well, it's not just Michael Aston's Gene Loves Jezebel. It goes out as Gene Loves Jezebel, doesn't he? Which is very confusing for people because people like Gene Loves Jezebel. Correct me if I'm wrong. They like songs like Desire, Emotional Love, Jealous, Break the Chain, all those songs, which he's not. If he's on them, he's barely on them. And so it's what's written on the tin is not what people are getting. That's not the product they're getting. We split because his role in the band had diminished to such a degree. He wasn't doing anything anymore, and the compromise was too much. There came to a point where a song like Suspicion, I sing the song, I'm the author, and yet I have to pretend to mime on guitar so he can pretend he's singing the song. He's like actually Milli Vanilli, except I'm actually singing the song and he's actually miming to my vocals. When it came to that point, I was going to leave the band. So I had enough of this, But then he left before me, and then we decided to try doing acoustic. I did an acoustic album called Unpopular Songs, and he'd done like a solo album. And someone suggested we tour together. I thought that'd be fun, just doing our own stuff, not interfering with each other. Maybe get up and sing a song together. But his agent had booked it as Gene Loves Jezebel, and that's where all the problems started, really, because they would dishonestly pulled me over there. And then I just said, look, I'll do these gigs, but we have to get James and Pete and Chris or Joel Patterson at the time back into the band because this is not Gene Loves Jezebel, and that's where all the problems came, really.
Is there a legend out there that you haven't met yet that you want to meet?
Well, I don't usually bother with people. As a kid, I would idolize. I always think we're all the same. We're all equal. I'm not too. If someone's good at music or good at sport or whatever, or they're good artists, good for them. But I was a huge Led Zeppelin fan when I was a kid. So I met Jimmy Page once, but I was literally. I used to live opposite the Viper Room, a place called English Village, very lovely Tudor houses or mock Tudor. Very LA in LA, and it was right opposite the Viper Room. And I went in there one night. People used to come around and use my parking permit because I had a park because I lived in the area. I could get them parking. And we'd often pop into the tiny bar. Then Jimmy Page was in there, and so literally you couldn't swing round without knocking into each other. So I did say hi to him, and he was the one person that I would say I idolized as a kid. But anyone else, I mean, I haven't bothered with really. I mean, I've said hello to lots of people, and I've occasionally met people because I've been introduced. But generally, I don't need to meet anybody really, to be honest with you. I mean, it's nice if if they're interested. It might be a fellow Tottenham Hotspur supporter or something, or you might say, "Oh, you like Spurs? Great, we could talk about them maybe." Or I mean, if I saw Joni Mitchell, I'd probably want to say, "Oh, hi," because she's awesome. But generally, yeah, I just think we're all. If you're gifted, good for you, lucky you. But we're all this. All humans the same. We're all trying to be happy. When you walk past anyone in the street, no matter how fucked up they are politically and all the rest of it, everyone's ultimately trying to have a nice life. Everyone's trying to be happy. Simple. Trying to keep warm. Not have wet feet and have shelter and be happy. Everybody. And the minute you start demonizing people, vilifying them, blaming them for anything that's wrong, then that's when the planet really fucks up, because empathy is very, very important, very important. Have a look from the other side, there's always the other side, and the answer is never, ever violence, ever. Coming from a working class background where I spent a lot of my teenage years fighting, so I know violence doesn't do anything.
Well, on that inevitable day when you pass away, what do you want the world to know Jay Aston as?
It doesn't matter really. I don't care. It's because I think none of it matters. None of it's that important in the end. All that's important is this moment here, or is this guitar in my hand. That's all that really matters. Hopefully, I think we all touch people, whether we know it or not. But it's not important to me. I mean, when I look at a lot of celebrities, and I think, why do they care that much? Why do they care? Why is it so important to be, lionized? Why does it matter? It's just music. It's just art. Enjoy it. I don't need a pat on the back. None of us do really. It's nice with our peers and people we're close to when they go, "Oh, nice job, Jay," or whatever. But it's not going to change my course, So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me what they say. There'll be some people like me and some people won't, and history gets rewritten all the time anyway. What looks bad today will make sense in 10 years' time.
Do you have a philosophy on music?
On music? No, I wish I could play like some musicians I see playing. I wish I had those skills, But then again, the best songwriters are never the best musicians. They usually, because great musicians tend to be up their own butt, just going. Whereas a good songwriter is going to be Bob Dylan. He's going to sing with 3 chords. He's going to sing "Blowing in the Wind," or John Fogerty with 3 chords. I'll give you those 3 chords and see what you can do with them. You try and write, "Bad Moon Rising," or you try writing "Blowing in the Wind." It's not easy. I'll give you the same chords. We've all got the same option. So that's genius, And you've got someone like Joni Mitchell who can do both. She can write great songs and she's a phenomenal musician. So, or Neil Young, or loads of people. And there's, are Joy Division worth any less than Led Zeppelin? No, they're not. They're all as valuable. Everyone's just, the Beach Boys are phenomenal to me, the stuff they did in the 60s and up to the early 70s is phenomenal stuff. But is it any better than Elliott Smith? No, it's not. It's all as valid. There's not much music you can put on that creates the mood. Most music, you go looking for when you're just in the mood for that kind of music. Some music can change. I mean, Astral Weeks by Van Morrison can actually create a mood for you, if you're into Van Morrison. Some people aren't. But I do. I like him. But you put it on, it creates a great mood, Nick Drake, I can put him on, and that takes me another way altogether. But ultimately, for me personally, I mean, I'd rather be writing my own music most of the time. just whatever's in my heart, that's what I'm trying to create, and whatever colors I can create with the guitar, and to a lesser degree keyboards, but with a voice for certainly. The voice is an amazing instrument. You can do a lot with the voice. So yeah. So I don't have any philosophy on it as such. I've found a way of working that works for me. And the guitar is an amazing instrument. No one conquers it. Everyone's always looking for a new angle on it, and it opens itself up in so many different ways every time you pick it up. That's what I like about the guitar.
You guys are going on tour here in the States, right?
Yeah, we're touring with the Alarm in May, June, July. So a lot of gigs. We've posted like the first half of it, but there's another half to come. We'll be posting soon, I reckon. So yeah, I'm just in the UK waiting for a visa, because you have to get a work visa. Because I'd heard we might be doing the tour, but I wasn't sure. And then suddenly, oh yeah, can you do the tour? And suddenly it's all action stations, because American visas, work visas, are very expensive for musicians, and they take time. So, but that's the deal. That's all. We have to wait for those visas before I can leave. So hopefully we'll get them soon, because I don't like getting to the US the day before a tour. You like to be there at least a week before to give you a little chance to acclimatize, especially for a singer for this voice.
Right.
You need to rest, and sleep is really important. But that's the small problem, really, in the big scheme of things. But that would be nice. So we're looking forward. That'll be a fun tour. We've toured with the Alarm before, so it'll be fun. It's nice. The bands complement each other. I think they're different, but it works, I think, and their audience seems to like us a lot, and vice versa. So yeah, it'll be good.
Can people buy hard copies of the album?
We should be bringing some out. Yeah, that will be the plan, because it's on Cleopatra, and I think ironically, we were just talking about warehouses and what's his name from Tesla. It's Cleopatra got a new warehouse right in Austin, so we'll definitely have some in Austin. So yeah, for sure.
Is it just going to be CDs, or are you going to have records as well?
We got vinyl, which you can order. I don't know if I should think we'll hopefully bring some, but carrying it is always a problem. But we'll be traveling with the Alarm, and they'll be carrying stuff. So hopefully we can put some stuff in there too. But we do try to bring vinyl to any shows, And yeah, we will. CDs for sure. Vinyl, hopefully.
I love records, man.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, they are tactile. Yeah.
It's fun being able to collect them again.
It's good. They're very important. Yeah. That whole documentation, opening them and connecting to them, lyrics and all the rest of it. We put lyrics on a new album. If you buy the vinyls for all the lyrics in, and it's it's just good. Who sang what, who did what, etc., etc. And that's good. I just remember when we used to buy albums and do that. You'd sit there and all these names. You wonder who's Hugh Padgham or whatever. Where's this studio? Where's this record company based? Whatever. All fascinating to, which you can't get on a CD, can you? Unless on Spotify or Apple Music. The rest of it, there's not much information on there, really. Lyrics, maybe.
Well, the streaming, it's cool that you can stream and it's right there when you want it, but it doesn't have the same sound.
No.
And you don't get all that incredible artwork. Or sometimes you remember you'd open up an album, there'd be a poster or something else in it.
Very important. Yeah. Very important. Yeah. Someone showed me Alice Cooper's School's Out sleeve. Do you remember that or jacket, you might call it? But it's awesome. It's like a desk cover, and you open it up, and there's all the stuff in the desk, and the records got some big panties on it. Just the amount of work they put into those covers, was amazing. Yeah.
So, what's your website?
Oh well, GeneLovesJezebel.co.uk. That's the best one for all band stuff. So .co.uk. And then just Facebook, look for J Aston, Gene Loves Jezebel, and you'll find us. Instagram, Jezebel J, Jezebel_J, you'll find me there. But yeah, just Google Gene Loves Jezebel, J Aston, and bang, it'll all come up to you. Ask Siri.
I will put all the links in the description just to make it
Oh, thank
easy
you.
for folks. And man, I
Yeah,
wish the best for you. And I see you're going to be in Houston in May at the
yeah,
House of Blues. So maybe we
that'd be
can get out there and see you,
that'd be awesome, man. Yeah, be hot, hot in Houston.
especially
Yeah.
in May, right?
There's an old friend of mine who just died a couple of years ago. She won't be there, so I'll miss her. Houston was her hometown, so Pillar. That's a drag. But anyway, yeah, that's what happens. We're getting older and we lose people, don't we? So yeah, but
Unfortunately.
Houston's special for that reason. She was a very close friend of the band, always came to our shows from way back. But she won't be there. But there you go. But yeah, so look forward to that. Yeah, come and say hi. Hopefully, I'll come and say hi to you because we'll be socializing as bands do these days, which is good. To sell at the merch stand, selling your t-shirts.
I'll be looking for you, man.
Oh, cheers, Cal.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you again. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for your patience too for yesterday's problems. But
Hey, things happen, right?
yeah.
And I also want to thank all you folks out there. If you are new to the channel, I hope you'll come back. Please hit that subscribe button for my regulars. You guys are awesome because you make it possible for me to do this. And until the next one, everyone, please take care. Be kind to one another. God bless and peace.